Assessment information is very useful to teachers. It can help improve student learning as well as our instructional delivery. Assessment is also used to report results to students and their families. It can be used to build the home-school connection. This presentation will discuss how to effectively communicate assessment results and progress with families in a manner that supports collaboration. Communicating with parents and guardians about classroom assessment begins before parent-teacher conferences or a progress report is sent home. Parents and guardians have the right to know what assessments will be completed, how they will be completed, and when they will be completed. It is important to remember that parents typically know their children better than anyone else. Here are some helpful tips for increasing communication before assessment even occurs. Discuss assessment procedures at the start of the school year or even before the child enters the classroom. Let parents know what they can expect from you. As you communicate with parents and the guardians, be sure to ask them if they have any concerns. If they do, be sure to discuss them and make a plan to collect data. Sometimes children behave differently at home and school. Providing assessment data can help chart progress towards any areas of concern. It is also a good idea to make parents aware of any formal assessments that may occur. Provide information not only about the assessment process, but also how it impacts the child. Finally, if any changes need to occur to any previously discussed assessment plans, be sure to involve parents in the discussion. Once assessment has occurred, it is important to look at each family individually when communicating assessment results. Understanding their culture, community, and values will help you communicate more clearly with the family and possibly prevent any conflicts. There are both formal and informal ways to report information to parents. Formal reports usually bear more weight. However, informal reports can be just as important, providing parents and the guardians with continual information on their child's progress. Formal reports can take the form of parent-teacher conferences, written progress reports or letters, report cards, portfolios, and test scores. Informal reports include student work displayed or sent home, programs, informational conversations or notes, telephone conversations, and reports sent back and forth between home and school. One way to report information is through the use of narrative reports. Narrative reports can be set up in multiple ways and provided to parents at different times throughout the school year. Some teachers use a notebook or a log which is sent home daily or once a week. This is sometimes referred to as a daily communication log. In this log, both the teacher and school staff can communicate to the child's family about their school day. This also provides a means for families to communicate back with the teacher and school staff. They can comment on the previous day or inform the teacher that their child didn't eat a good breakfast or sleep well the night before. A daily communication log is also used for children with disabilities, where it is important to communicate to a child's parent on a daily basis. Narrative reports should emphasize strengths and communicate concerns and recommendations. They could also summarize significant growth. Narrative reports can compare the child's capabilities with program goals, standards, and growth and development. They also record and summarize classroom assessments in a fair, accurate, and impartial way. Grading is an official assessment that is a requirement of most teachers. In order to make grading fair and reflective, follow these guidelines. Distinguish between reported grades and teacher responses. Develop a grading plan. Specify grading criteria in advance. Use the same grading assessment for each child. Grade academic and non-academic factors separately. Be objective and compare performance to a criterion. Parent-teacher conferences or parent-student-teacher conferences are a shared reflection that looks to the future rather than a cut-and-dried evaluation of a child's performance. These guidelines will help the conference move smoothly and be able to answer the parents' questions or concerns. First of all, teachers should have a plan. Part of this plan should include completing some form of written report and collecting student work samples. In order to keep parents or guardians engaged and involved, teachers should start the conference with positive comments and end the conference with positive comments. This starts and ends the conference on a positive note, keeping the conference as a positive experience. It is important to communicate with the parents, not at them. While you may have information that you feel must be shared, parents may have information to share as well. Make it a conversation. Ask questions to see if the parents have the same experiences and interpretations as you do. Teachers also need to be specific, but avoid teacher jargon. Be supportive and be prepared to answer questions. The most important things teachers can do is to be sensitive to the impact of the information they are sharing. A portfolio conference is another way to show a child's progress. There are two types, child-led and teacher-led. In a child-led portfolio conference, the child shows their individual portfolios to their parents. They explain the creation and development of each item, what they learned, and provide a self-reflection for each experience. This is a method that has been used extensively in Reggio Emilia schools. It is important to note that this can be difficult for younger students. However, if children are taught how to do the conference and practice it, a student-led portfolio conference can be highly successful. When conducting a teacher-led portfolio conference, you want to prepare the portfolio for sharing and allow some time for parents to study the portfolio on their own. Exhibits, displays, and performances of students' work are public compilations and summaries of what children have done, how they did it, and what they learned. Teachers and children document group and individual work using a variety of different media, including photographs, sketches, narrative reports, artwork, transcriptions of children's conversations, audio and video tapes, work products, or anything else that reflects student work. Exhibits and displays are placed in a public place for all to see. Some teachers are now using a website which parents and family friends can access to see what their children are doing and learning in school. To summarize, when you think of assessment and communicating those results, consider the following quote by Weiner and Morosky. We must value our students' strengths, encourage their affinities, and be tolerant of the diversity and differences of each student's mind.